Okay, so let's talk about herbal medicine and what it is, and how it works. I'm Chris Axelrad, and I'm going to talk to you about herbal medicine, what it is, and how it works. So, herbal medicine is when we use plants, minerals, and animal substances medicinally. So we may use the flowers, the leaves, the roots. We may use rocks and grind them up, or different forms of, different powders and things from, from the earth. And also, in many cases, animal products are used, although that's becoming less and less frequent just from the fact that certain animals obviously are becoming endangered, and so you don't see the animal products being used as much. I know in Chinese medicine, things such as, deer antler velvet, which many of you may have heard about as a very, very powerful booster for testosterone. There's also in Chinese medicine the use of tortoise shells. There's also the use of Bengal tiger teeth. Obviously those two things and the deer antler velvet, those things are very rare, and actually some of them are illegal. But the point is, we can use all of these substances as medicine. Okay, so that's what herbal medicine is. And in our clinic, we use capsules, and we use the powdered extracts in capsules. But it can also be used in its raw form. So you actually take the leaves and the roots and the powders and things like that, the rocks and whatever, and you put them in and you boil them and cook them a certain way. There's like recipes for how to do that, and then you drink the tea, or you eat the food, or you eat the soup, and that's the medicine. It's a beautiful, beautiful system of medicine because it takes nature, it takes essentially things from nature and converts those things into medicinal substances that can then help our body heal. Now, how does it work? Well, this is a really cool thing because this sort of gets a little bit into some metaphysical stuff, but I think it's very, very valid to talk about it here. Herbs and other substances that are naturally occurring in the earth or on the earth, they are part of nature. They've evolved in the same world that we have. And in order to evolve and grow and change and survive and thrive, they've had to develop a certain kind of intelligence. And when we consume those plants, when we consume those substances, it literally conveys that intelligence to our cells. It literally communicates in the native language of our biology. Think about it this way. If we just think back 10,000 years, okay, before we had all this fancy technology and this incredible skill of building these large cities and all this infrastructure. And you're living out in a remote area. There's maybe some caves or some fields there, and you've got your little hut built and everything like that. I mean, you're living off the land. You are literally a part of nature. You're just another animal walking around in nature. You're just like grass and trees and bears and flowers and all these things. You're just a part of that, and you've evolved and grown, and through the generations have learned to survive and thrive on this earth, along with all of those other substances. And so just like you have this intelligence to do that, they also have an intelligence to do that. And theirs is specific to other things. So, plants, amazing. It grows out of the earth in response to the sun. Plants literally eat light. Plants literally root into the earth and know how to take nutrients from the earth. Some plants grow where it's more wet. Other plants grow where it's more dry. Some plants grow where it's hotter. Some plants grow where it's cooler. Some plants grow up in higher altitudes and some at lower altitudes. And all of those things take different types of intelligence and different types of skills, if you want to call it that. So by taking in those plants, we're literally speaking to ourselves and conveying that intelligence and the skills into our bodies and into our organs and into our lives. So herbs can be directed at specific organs. There's some herbs that have an affinity and really help the liver system or help the stomach or help calm the mind or help to promote healthy sleep or help to boost our energy or help to promote, if we're having issues with our digestion, promote healthy digestion. And it's like these plants do that in a very natural and gentle way. So it's an amazing way to take your body from where it is and very gently but very effectively actually push it towards where you want it to be. It's not really even pushing it, it's like guiding it. Okay? Drugs are more like a command. Drugs are more like a push. Like, you're going to do this whether you like it or not. And sometimes we need the drug to do that. So for instance, if we have extremely high blood pressure that's really out of control, we need the drug to bring that blood pressure down very rapidly to save our life, right? Then we can use the herbs and we can use the other types of medicine to help guide our body back to a state of balance so that we don't have the high blood pressure anymore. But certainly drugs have their place, but herbs and things like that, they're more like guides. Acupuncture is like a guide. Herbs are like a guide that guide your body to develop its own natural intelligence, or really to remember its own natural intelligence, to go to a place of healing. Because one of the things that I always say is that our bodies never forget how to heal. They never forget it. We can get off track through lifestyle and other issues where we create a situation where our bodies are having difficulty expressing that healing response, but it never forgets how to do it. And so taking the herbs will help your body to remember how to heal. Are there herbs that are toxic? Absolutely. And in Chinese medicine, they're very clearly noted. Just like drugs have toxicities, there are herbs that have some toxicities, but Chinese medicine is very, any skilled herbalist, not just in Chinese medicine, but any skilled herbalist knows how to balance those out within a formula. And also any skilled herbalist knows how to use those herbs very, very safely. In other words, you use them in lower doses, you don't use them long term, you put other herbs in the formula that help to offset those effects, and they're very, very safe in that context. Also, herbs are not also, herbs are not necessarily safe. Okay. Also, herbs are very, very safe when used appropriately. Herbs are medicines, and so they can be used out of context, and they can cause harm. But so can, if the thing is, foods are the same, right? So you can drink too much water. Actually, if you drink too much water too fast, you can be hospitalized and potentially die from that. So herbs are the same way. We have to know what we're doing. We have to know what we're taking. We have to know what the doses are. We have to know what we want to take long term, what we want to stop now, things like that. So it's important, I think, to educate yourself or go to a qualified herbalist, such as myself, to help you choose the right herbs and help you come up with a strategy that's going to be right for you. People ask me a lot too about sourcing. We source our herbs from Taiwan. Taiwan has very strict regulations of herbal medications and purity, because in Taiwan you have to be an MD to prescribe herbs, and also because in Taiwan herbs are considered to be like real medicines. Just like over here we look at pharmaceuticals, they look at herbs the same way. So in Taiwan they have very strict quality controls, very strict controls for toxicities and for contaminants. So our herbs are created by one of the longest standing companies in Taiwan that supplies herbs to a lot of European countries where they have a ton more regulations over quality than we do here in the U.S. So our herbs are sourced from Taiwan, and they're amazing, and we get amazing results with them.